Your credit score is either a passport or a wall. And for 100 million Americans, it's a wall. I know this personally, because before I was ever a graduate of Harvard College and Harvard Business School, I was the daughter of a single mom who struggled to make ends meet. It wasn't always that way. My parents were college educated, they had good jobs, but after a failed business and a bad divorce, we lost it all. And it took years for my family to rebuild. My family's credit experience parallels that of the majority of Americans. 1 out of 2 Americans has subprime credit, and 6 out of 10 adults have not checked their score in the last year. 1 out of 3 has never checked their score. And you want to know why? It's because they are afraid. But here's the secret. Credit, it's broken. 8 out of 10 credit reports have an error. And that's expensive, because by the time you're 30, the cost of good credit versus bad credit is over $5,000 annually. It can keep you from the home or job of your choice. So what do you do when the majority of Americans are terrified to check their credit score, but need it for every financial decision? You help them improve it. Introducing Credit Hero. At Credit Hero, we're on a mission to help everyday Americans take control of their financial lives. We make it easy to win at credit and reach your financial goals. Let me show you how. Switch to demo. It starts with a conversation. We take you through a set of credit improving tactics based on our decision tree. And we ask you how you feel about credit and what your goals are. By doing this, we immediately capture your emotional state and your financial aspirations. Then we do a quick credit diagnosis, asking you what your biggest concerns are and what your starting score is. And then we take you through our proprietary credit checkup, where you'll sign up, link your credit report, and get your own credit prescription. PowerPoint. Your credit prescription is specific to you, and we scan every credit report, identifying questionable items that could be hurting your score and giving you instructions on how to resolve them. After this initial process, we continue with behavioral economics to create a concrete set of actions to help you improve your credit score. And our process is powerful and can deliver dramatic increases to your credit score, like Annie, whose score went from 490 to 650 in 35 days. That's right, 140 points in 35 days. It's transformational. The data we get from this process is unique. We're getting psychographic, behavioral, and historical credit data that we can then leverage to create financial user segments and personas. We have a holistic view of our users' motivations, actions, and needs. And this is powerful, giving us an advantage. Legacy players like Credit Karma introduced the free credit score, while others like NerdWallet emphasize editorial. But this information is now commoditized and transactional. We're Credit 2.0, the next level of innovation in consumer credit. By going beyond information to action, we're able to financially engineer improvement for our users. And we've served over 80,000 credit fixes, automating a system that helps users overcome the challenges that keeps them from their financial goals. We build loyalty that you can't buy, helping us establish an NPS of 81, unprecedented in financial services. Our business model is straightforward. Because we help users improve their credit score, they look to us for the financial services that they need. We'll make money by by matching them to the right financial products, first through referrals, and then by building our own innovative and flexible products that meet their needs. So how big is this opportunity? Big. There are 100 million Americans looking to access $150 billion in financial services. But they're stuck in transactional relationships with traditional financial service providers. We're building the next generation of automated consultative financial services designed from the ground up to meet the needs of the majority of Americans. Before, there were 100 million Americans who had a wall. Now, they have a passport. Wear the passport. It's time to get credit confident. Go to getcredithero.com.
All right, judges. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, great pitch, very nicely delivered. Who provides the consultation? Is that all automated? Do you have?
It's automated.
Okay.
It's automated.
And how did you build it? How do you learn? It's very nuanced, right? Understanding, making actual suggestions and recommendations.
Sure. So, I mean, I think we've served, like we said, we served kind of 80,000 credit fixes, so that I think we have now some logic behind the issues that our user serves. Traditionally, the users that we serve do have specific sets of needs. So the traditional user that we're serving does have a subprime score. There are probably some issues that are related, duplications, medical bills. We'll take them through our checkup process, and then from there we move them on to the building phase, which is they're going to have to open lines of credit to improve their credit scores.
Sorry, no. So great pitch, love your story, it's fantastic. So I think one of the things I was slightly confused about was you had this amazing stat that most Americans don't want to see their credit score because they're afraid of what's in it.
Yep.
And like, this is a crowded space. If you want to get your credit score, it's a crowded space. Right? We've all seen the ads, the jingles, and so on. Mm-hmm. So if those ads are not working in terms of getting people to check their credit score, how are you going to acquire customers to get them to check their credit score?
Mm-hmm. So it's not about checking your credit score, and I'll tell you why. So checking your credit score, if you have credit issues, is like telling a fat person to get on a scale. So we are not the scale. There are lots of scales. We are the workout plan that does the heavy lifting for you. And that has made us the differentiated offering. That is why 87% of our users refer a user.
Go ahead.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about where the company is at in terms of 80,000 fixes, that means 80,000 customers? When did you guys launch?
Yes, exactly.
How many new customers you guys get?
Exactly. So 80,000 fixes, so there are multiple issues per user. There are about 6,500 users that we've taken through private beta. We've helped them resolve those issues, and so that's how the math works.
And do you identify the errors, or do you actually fix the problems automatically?
So we basically will scan the report and provide them each a custom template, pretty much fully baked for the user, that they can then fix.
So the existing credit bureaus like TransUnion, Equifax, why are they not motivated to spot and fix these errors themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's all about the history of credit. The traditional credit bureaus are B2B. They're here to serve financial services providers, and they'd rather have a false positive than a false negative. We are customer centric, and that is the key difference about kind of our approach versus theirs.
Do you have, your NPS is fantastic.
Thank you.
Do you have evidence of the efficacy beyond the individual whose face you showed where you took the credit score up quite a bit?
Yeah, so
you look at the impact, how is it?
Yeah, a traditional user receives about a 50-point bump in 6 weeks.
Who's your target market on the credit range? Subprime, prime?
Subprime, yep.
Okay, and how do you plan on acquiring them?
It's been referral based thus far. We have gotten a lot of emphasis on social media, and so we see people referring there. When we have done paid tests on Facebook, our acquisition costs have been incredibly low. So that has been hard.
Yeah, I'm wondering what's your competition. I'm almost ashamed to say this, but the only time I have checked my credit score, it was really bad, and I remember getting the report. This is a long time ago. I'm doing better. But there were like a few things, and then we went and fixed them manually. So I wonder what people do today. Anyways.
Sure. So there is a spectrum of the approach, right? When you think about the credit space. So first we got into this, who's monitoring? That's its own bucket. Then there's all of the editorial players who provide lots of information, typically targeting people like us, pretty affluent, who like to read long articles and frankly have a lot of options. Points guy is great, but most people cannot qualify for Chase Sapphire card. So again, no one really, let's be honest, there's really no one kind of targeting people who maybe only have one or two choices and probably are ashamed, right? You had a pretty negative experience. Then there is a whole multi-billion-dollar industry of providers who then will go and charge you a monthly fee to help you kind of navigate that process. So there is an ecosystem. What we have seen in fintech is that there is no automated provider designed to help consumers really meet the financial challenges, and that's where we're playing.
And you're all direct to consumer.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we're direct to consumer. I will say we have gotten approached by others in terms of potential partnerships, some leading companies. Yeah.
First of all, I feel really guilty now of getting a Chase Reserve card. So I'm curious, so you showed a chatbot there.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious about the product experience. Is it purely through, I think it was Facebook Messenger? Is it through like a messenger experience? Like what is the interactive experience that people go through? How do people actually use it?
Yep.
So yeah, currently our beta's using Facebook Messenger. All the sensitive information, all the kind of we're providing you a service happens on our web app. And as we roll out a beta, it's about collapsing those things into a really unified experience. We think we can create a customer experience that's very, very fresh.
So these are complicated ideas. One of the other reasons people don't check is because they just don't understand the content.
Yep.
How do you avoid the agent problem of somebody looking for more support than maybe your bot can handle, and so you actually need to speak with somebody on the phone or something?
Yeah. Well, so,
Answer as quickly as you can.
what did you say?
Answer as quickly as you can.
It's simple. It's simple. So we have specific, they will say help, and then it can trigger saying, what do you need help with? So we simplify that challenge.
And do you watch what they do in response? Ignore the clock. We can take. He's going to kill me. When people take actions, how do you know that they're actually doing this in real life?
Yes. Oh my gosh. So offline, that's a whole conversation. Again, helping kind of 80,000 consumers. Before we even did that, we person by person, we're helping this. Credit and cocktails, real user. That is frankly, no one can do what we're doing just off the bat because they won't trust you. So we, one, establish immediate consumer trust. Two, we do a lot of listening online, and we make it simple, very simple, which I think that UX experience for a distressed user or someone who's a little challenged just doesn't exist.
Awesome.
Okay, guys, give it up for Credit Hero.
Thank you.